Welcome to NEET Biology MCQs educational channel. Are you a NEET aspirant? Get ready to challenge your brain with high-quality MCQs based on the NCERT book. Sharpen your concepts, enhance application skills, and master assertion reasoning and statement-based questions. This is your ultimate MCQ power zone for NEET success.
Which part of the pistil serves as the landing platform for pollen grains? A. Ovary. B. Style. C. Stigma. D. Placenta. Correct answer is C. Stigma. Explanation: the stigma is the terminal, sticky part of the pistil that functions specifically as the landing platform for pollen grains during pollination. Its surface is adapted to trap and hold pollen. The ovary is located at the base and contains ovules, while the style is the elongated stalk that connects the stigma to the ovary and plays a role in guiding pollen tubes. The placenta is the region inside the ovary where ovules are attached, but has no role in capturing pollen. Thus, only the stigma serves this essential role. What is the basal swollen part of the pistil called? A. Ovary. B. Stigma. C. Style. D. Ovule. Correct answer is A. Ovary. Explanation: the ovary is the lowermost and swollen portion of the pistil that houses the ovules and later develops into fruit after fertilization. The stigma is at the top and receives pollen, while the style connects stigma and ovary. The ovule is the structure within the ovary that contains the female gametophyte. Therefore, only the ovary fits the description of the basal, swollen part of the pistil. How many cells are present in a mature angiosperm embryo sac? A. 8. B. 7. C. 6. D. 4. Correct answer is B. 7. Explanation: the mature embryo sac of angiosperms contains 8 nuclei, but only 7 cells. These include 1 egg cell, 2 synergids, 3 antipodals, and a large central cell containing 2 polar nuclei, which function as a single cell. So, while option A may appear tempting due to the number of nuclei, the correct number of cells is 7. Options C and D are incorrect as they underestimate the actual structure. Where is the funicle attached in an ovule? A. Chalaza. B. Micropyle. C. Nucellus. D. Hilum. Correct answer is D. Hilum. Explanation: the hilum is the scar or point of attachment where the funicle, a stalk-like structure that connects the ovule to the placenta, joins the body of the ovule. The chalaza is at the base of the ovule, opposite the micropyle, and is involved in nutrient transfer. The micropyle is the opening through which the pollen tube enters, and the nucellus is the tissue that nourishes the embryo sac. None of these serve as the attachment point for the funicle, making hilum the only correct answer. Which structure in the ovule contains abundant reserve food material? A. Chalaza. B. Nucellus. C. Micropyle. D. Synergids. Correct answer is B. Nucellus. Explanation: the nucellus is a nutritive tissue within the ovule that surrounds the embryo sac and contains stored food materials essential for developing the female gametophyte. The chalaza serves mainly as a conduit for nutrients, the micropyle is an opening for pollen tube entry, and synergids are part of the egg apparatus, playing a role in guiding the pollen tube, not in storage. Hence, only the nucellus is rich in reserve food. How many megaspores are typically produced from a megaspore mother cell? A. 2. B. 4. C. 8. D. 1. Correct answer is B. 4. Explanation: the megaspore mother cell, MMC, undergoes meiosis, a reductional division, to produce 4 haploid megaspores. This is a fundamental outcome of meiosis. Option A is incorrect as it suggests mitotic division. C confuses the outcome with later stages in embryo sac development. And D refers to the number of functional megaspores that usually survive, not the number initially produced. Hence, 4 is the correct number resulting from meiosis. Which end of the ovule is opposite the micropylar end? A. Chalaza. B. Placenta. C. Nucellus. D. Funicle. Correct answer is A. Chalaza. Explanation: the chalaza is the basal region of the ovule, located opposite the micropyle. It is the point where integuments and nucellus merge and facilitates nutrient flow. The placenta is the region within the ovary that bears the ovules, not a structural end of the ovule. The nucellus lies inside the ovule, and the funicle connects the ovule to the placenta, not defining polarity. Therefore, the chalaza correctly describes the end opposite the micropyle. What is the function of the filiform apparatus in synergids? A. Storage. B. Protection. C. Guiding pollen tube. D. Secretion. Correct answer is C. Guiding pollen tube. Explanation: the filiform apparatus is a specialized thickening in the synergid cells that helps direct the pollen tube toward the egg apparatus for fertilization. Its structural adaptations make it essential for guiding the pollen tube's entry. While synergids may be involved in secretion, making option D partially true, the main and specific role of the filiform apparatus is guidance. Options A and B are unrelated to this structure's primary function. What kind of ovule development is shown when one megaspore forms the embryo sac? A. Monosporic. B. Bisporic. C. Tetrasporic. D. Polysporogenic. Correct answer is A. Monosporic. Explanation: monosporic development occurs when only one out of the 4 megaspores produced by meiosis contributes to embryo sac formation. The rest degenerate. This is the most common type in angiosperms. In bisporic and tetrasporic development, 2 or all 4 nuclei contribute, respectively. Polysporogenic is not a standard term used in this context. Thus, monosporic correctly defines development from a single megaspore. What is the ploidy of the megaspore mother cell, MMC? A. Haploid. B. Diploid. C. Triploid. D. Tetraploid. Correct answer is B. Diploid. Explanation: the megaspore mother cell, MMC, is diploid, to N, as it is derived from the sporophytic tissue of the ovule. It undergoes meiosis to produce 4 haploid megaspores. Option A is incorrect as haploidy results after meiosis, not before. Triploid and tetraploid conditions are abnormal and not typically observed in MMCs. Thus, the correct ploidy before meiosis is diploid. Identify the correct sequence of structures a pollen tube encounters in the pistil from top to bottom. A. Style stigma ovary. B. Stigma style ovary. C. Ovary stigma style. D. Stigma ovary style. Correct answer is B. Stigma style ovary. Explanation. The pollen tube must travel from the point of initial contact to the site of fertilization, which follows the anatomical structure of the pistil from top to bottom. The pollen grains first land on the stigma, which is the receptive surface. They then germinate and grow through the style, a tubular structure that provides the path. Finally, the pollen tube reaches the ovary, which contains the ovules for fertilization. Option B correctly represents this sequential path. Option A is incorrect because it reverses the position of the stigma and style. Option C starts from the ovary, which is anatomically incorrect as it is the final destination, not the starting point. Option D wrongly places the ovary between stigma and style, which defies the natural floral structure. Which structure of the embryo sac helps guide the pollen tube toward the egg cell? A. Antipodals. B. Synergids. C. Polar nuclei. D. Nucellus. Correct answer is B. Synergids. Explanation. The synergids are two specialized cells located near the micropyle end of the embryo sac and flank the egg cell. They play a vital role in guiding the pollen tube by secreting attractant molecules and housing a structure called the filiform apparatus, which facilitates pollen tube entry. Option A, antipodals, are located at the opposite end and do not interact with the pollen tube. Option C, polar nuclei, reside centrally and are involved in triple fusion, not guidance. Option D, nucellus, is part of the ovule's nutritive tissue and does not assist in directing the pollen tube. Hence, only synergids perform this guidance function. If an ovule develops from one megaspore after meiosis, how many megaspores degenerate? A. None. B. 2. C. 3. D. All 4. Correct answer is C. 3. Explanation. During megasporogenesis, a single diploid megaspore mother cell, MMC, undergoes meiosis to produce 4 haploid megaspores. In the most common type, monosporic development, only one of these megaspores becomes functional and gives rise to the embryo sac, while the remaining 3 degenerate. Therefore, option C is correct. Option A and D are both incorrect because not all megaspores survive, nor do all degenerate. Option B is incorrect as to megaspores do not degenerate while one survives. It is specifically 3 that degenerate. Which part of the ovule would you examine to study the entry point of the pollen tube? A. Chalaza. B. Nucellus. C. Micropyle. D. Funicle. Correct answer is C. Micropyle. Explanation. The micropyle is the small opening at the ovule's apex through which the pollen tube enters during fertilization. It is a key structure in identifying the point of entry for male gametes. Option A, chalaza, is the basal region opposite the micropyle and is not associated with pollen tube entry. Option B, nucellus, is the nutritive tissue surrounding the embryo sac, but is internal and not the entry site. Option D, funicle, is the stalk attaching the ovule to the placenta, but also plays no role in pollen entry. Thus, only the micropyle serves this specific function. Which cell in the embryo sac is directly involved in fertilization to form the zygote? A. Synergid. B. Polar nuclei. C. Egg cell. D. Antipodal cell. Correct answer is C. Egg cell. Explanation. The egg cell is the female gamete that directly fuses with the male gamete brought in by the pollen tube to form the zygote, initiating embryo development. Option A. Synergids assist in guiding the pollen tube but are not involved in fertilization. Option B. Polar nuclei fuse with the second male gamete to form the endosperm, not the zygote. Option D. Antipodal cells are located at the chalazal end and are considered nutritionally supportive, not reproductive. Hence, the egg cell is the only one that participates in zygote formation. Which of the following helps identify a syncarpous ovary? A. Free pistils. B. One pistil only. C. Fused pistils. D. Multiple separate ovaries. Correct answer is C. Fused pistils. Explanation. A syncarpous ovary is formed when two or more carpels, pistils, are fused together into a single structure. This fusion can be seen in both the ovary and sometimes the style or stigma. Option A refers to a apocarpous condition, where pistils are free. Option B may refer to a monocarpillary ovary, but does not imply fusion. Option D suggests multiple distinct ovaries, which is again apocarpous or a compound gynoecium without fusion. Thus, fusion of pistils is the defining feature of a syncarpous ovary. During megasporogenesis, what process ensures haploid megaspores are produced from a diploid MMC? A. Mitosis. B. Amitosis. C. Meiosis. D. Syngamy. Correct answer is C. Meiosis. Explanation. In megasporogenesis, a diploid megaspore mother cell, MMC, undergoes meiosis, a reductional division, to produce 4 haploid megaspores. This is essential for maintaining the correct chromosome number after fertilization. Option A, mitosis, is equational and would not reduce the chromosome number. Option B, amitosis, is a rare and primitive form of nuclear division not involved here. Option D, syngamy, is the fusion of gametes, not related to spore formation. Hence, meiosis is the only accurate answer. What would you expect to find inside the central cell of a mature embryo sac? A. 2 synergids. B. 3 antipodals. C. 1 polar nucleus. D. 2 polar nuclei. Correct answer is D. 2 polar nuclei. Explanation. The central cell of a mature embryo sac typically contains 2 polar nuclei, which later fuse with one of the male gametes during double fertilization to form the triploid endosperm. Option A is incorrect because synergids are located near the egg cell at the micropylar end, not within the central cell. Option B, antipodals, are situated at the opposite, chalazal, end. Option C is wrong because there are 2 polar nuclei present, not just one. Thus, the correct structure inside the central cell is 2 polar nuclei. Which ovule part is involved in anchoring it to the placenta? A. Hilum. B. Funicle. C. Micropyle. D. chalaza. Correct answer is B. Funicle. The funicle is the stalk-like structure that physically attaches the ovule to the ovary wall, placenta, serving as a conduit for nutrients. Option A, hilum, is just the junction where the funicle meets the ovule, not the structure responsible for anchoring. Option C, micropyle, is involved in pollen tube entry, not attachment. Option D, chalaza, is the base of the ovule but not involved in its anchorage. Therefore, the funicle is the correct anchoring structure. If the megaspore mother cell failed to undergo meiosis, what would be the ploidy of resulting embryo sac, if it forms? A. Diploid. B. Haploid. C. Triploid. D. Tetraploid. Correct answer is A. Diploid. Explanation: if meiosis fails in the megaspore mother cell, MMC, it cannot reduce its chromosome number, and any resulting cell will retain the original diploid to N state. Normally, meiosis produces haploid megaspores. Option B is incorrect because haploidy results only if meiosis occurs. Option C, triploid, occurs only after triple fusion involving one male gamete and two polar nuclei, not from an unreduced MMC. Option D is incorrect as there is no mechanism here leading to a tetraploid state. Hence, the correct ploidy of the resulting embryo sac would be diploid. What term describes a flower with more than one free pistil? A. Monocarpillary. B. Syncarpous. C. Apocarpous. D. Unicarpillary. Correct answer is C. Apocarpous. Explanation: a flower with more than one free, unfused, pistil is termed apocarpous. In such flowers, each pistil remains separate, and they may develop into multiple distinct fruits. This differs from syncarpous flowers, where multiple carpels are fused to form a single compound pistil. Monocarpillary and unicarpillary both refer to flowers having only one carpel, so they cannot describe a flower with multiple pistils. Therefore, the only correct term that denotes more than one free pistil is apocarpous. Which part of the pistil serves as a landing platform for pollen grains? A. Style. B. Ovary. C. Stigma. D. Placenta. Correct answer is C. Stigma. Explanation: the stigma is the sticky, receptive surface at the top of the pistil where pollen grains initially land during pollination. It is specially adapted to capture and hold pollen. The style is the stalk that connects the stigma to the ovary, but it does not serve as the landing site. The ovary is located at the base and houses the ovules, not involved directly in pollen reception. The placenta is the tissue inside the ovary where ovules are attached, and is unrelated to pollen capture. Hence, only stigma fits as the correct answer. What is the name of the cavity found inside the ovary? A. Locule. B. Funicle. C. Hilum. D. Nucellus. Correct answer is A. Locule. Explanation: the internal chamber of the ovary that houses ovules is called the locule. This space contains the placenta, from which ovules develop. The funicle is the stalk that connects an ovule to the placenta, not a cavity. The hilum is the scar or point of attachment of the funicle to the ovule. The nucellus is a part of the ovule itself, not the ovary. Thus, locule is the only option that correctly refers to the ovary's internal cavity. Which structure in the ovule is rich in food reserves? A. Chalaza. B. Nucellus. C. Funicle. D. Micropyle. Correct answer is B. Nucellus. Explanation: the nucellus is the central tissue of the ovule, where the embryo sac develops. It contains abundant food reserves that support the developing embryo sac. The chalaza is the base of the ovule where integuments and nucellus join, but it is not a storage tissue. The funicle merely attaches the ovule to the ovary wall and does not store food. The micropyle is a small pore for pollen tube entry, not a nutrient-rich structure. Therefore, nucellus is the correct answer due to its role in storing reserve food. Where is the embryo sac located within the ovule? A. Inside the micropyle. B. Within the integuments. C. Within the nucellus. D. On the placenta. Correct answer is C. Within the nucellus. Explanation. The embryo sac, or female gametophyte, develops inside the nucellus, which provides nourishment. While the micropyle allows pollen tube entry, it is not a location for the embryo sac. The integuments form the protective layers around the nucellus, but do not enclose the embryo sac directly. The placenta lies in the ovary and attaches the ovule but is external to the ovule itself. Hence, the embryo sac is correctly located within the nucellus.